Santosh should be trying to appeal to our interests as the audience. He should use both logic and emotion to support his position. Finally, we will look for Santosh to not use notes. He's asked for 8 to 10 minutes for this speech, so not the usual 5 to 7. Thank you.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Wow.
Now that we already know the title and the introduction, Santosh, the case for space exploration. The case for space exploration. Santosh, thank you.
Let me ask a few opinions of the audience. Lenny, do you think the GPS technology has benefited humanity?
GPS technology is what?
Did it benefit humanity?
Yes.
Yes. GPS technology helps us to navigate terrain, air, and seas. Yuan, there's a fairly new technology called GigaPan. It's something like you place a robotic camera device on top of a mountain or a hill or a stadium, and the device captures hundreds of images starting from top left to the bottom right. The software stitches all of these images into a giant panoramic image. You can zoom in and out of any part of the image. Do you think it's cool?
Yeah.
Yes. It is being used in military reconnaissance and even Super Bowl. Trent, a couple of years ago, a new research came to light. Scientists were able to mimic sunlight and efficiently grow plants in dark places by configuring a few LED lights. Do you see some use of it in the future?
Absolutely.
Yes. A catastrophe may soon arrive and the entire sunlight may be blocked with too much smoke or something. This technology could be put to use to efficiently produce food and even recycle the atmosphere. Now that I got positive responses from different corners of the room, I want you to hold to those opinions. Many people are against the governments of many countries who support and sponsor the space program. They are of the opinion to use that budget instead to solve problems here on Earth, maybe to alleviate poverty, maybe to support food programs. I am of the opinion that we can and should do both. Sponsor space exploration and address problems at the home. What is home? Earth, the only known planet to harbor life. We, Homo sapiens, are such a talented species that we are the only species that could tame the planet with our tools, with our technologies, with our industries. What is our world after all that we think we are the supreme species of it? It's a giant ball of rock and water. It's the third planet from the sun? Fine. How does it appear from Saturn? Just a pale blue dot. If you see a picture of the Milky Way galaxy, the sun appears as a bright dot. The planets are not even visible, forget about the Earth. When you compare the size of the supercluster of the nearby galaxies to that of the entire observable universe, ours appears as a patchy dot. Do you see my point? Our planet, which we think is very huge, a huge ball of rock and water, is a tiny fraction of a tiny fraction of a tiny fraction of the entire observable universe. Earth did not form by its own. The laws of sciences that govern the planet are not on their own. Many years ago, stardust and debris came together, and the unified mass, by spinning around the sun for thousands of years, formed what is now known as our home Earth. Many eons later, humans evolved on it. We are made from the minerals of this planet. We are made from stardust. If you take a broad philosophical and scientific viewpoint of this, to know about us, we need to know about the stars. There is an imperative need to know how life starts on a moon or a planet, how stars are born and destroyed, how new planets and new stars are reborn. What has space science given us? Telescopes, observatories, rockets, rovers, satellites, space shuttles. Hundreds of these instruments have gathered an immense amount of data that is providing valuable insights about the infinite space around us. Thanks to the unrelenting efforts of our scientists over many decades, we are now in a position to study events that are planetary, stellar, and even galactic in nature. I support the space program because we need a backup plan. We absolutely need a backup plan. We will either continue choking our planet with greenhouse gases, irradiate it with our nuclear weapons, or be hit by an asteroid. Stephen Hawking said, there are too many accidents that befall life on a single planet. We need to spread to the space. That is why we need space exploration. We could find life elsewhere, maybe on a different planet, maybe on a moon, maybe even on a space station. We could create sustainable environments there. We could even find intelligent life forms elsewhere. Yuan has said that, Lenny has said that GPS technology has benefited humanity. It would not have been possible without the hundreds of satellites orbiting the Earth. Yuan has said that GigaPan was cool. That technology was initially created for image capture by the Mars rover Spirit and Opportunity, and later put to commercial use here on Earth. There are about 2,000 of these byproduct space technologies which are being used here on Earth. They are called NASA spin-offs. Trent said that it would be useful to have plants growing in dark places. That was a research sponsored by NASA. My point is that if the byproducts of original space technologies are of so much use for humanity now, imagine how much use would the original space technologies be in the future. Space science has the potential to change lives of millions of people. Space science empowers the most distant person in a remote village through long-distance e-learning. Space science ensures quality healthcare to the most distant person through telemedicine. Not just for the elite, space science is for everybody. That is why I urge you to take the following 3 steps. Number 1, subscribe to space newsletters. There are a ton of them on the internet and on the web and in the print media. Talk with your friends about interesting topics like rovers and satellites, not banner things like iPhones. Let's catch the future man with space science frontiers. Number 2, September 27th is the Colorado Astronomy Day. Visit the Denver Astro website and search for interesting events there. Try to peek through a telescope and look at the beautiful night sky and the planets. Number 3, visit the Denver Nature Museum. I had a recent wow moment. I met a scientist from Boulder at the Denver Nature Museum in a show called 60 Minutes in Space. We all know that there were robotic space missions to the moon and to the Mars. But do you know that we are chasing comets too? Rosetta, a spacecraft, has left the Earth about a decade ago. And it reached the comet nicknamed CG just a month ago. Right now it is orbiting the comet. After about 100 days it will deploy a lander to study the comet. Isn't it cool? Human beings are chasing almost everything. Comets contain water ice and hold clues to the beginning of the solar system. We could find out answers about life, how life started on Earth. I urge you to go to those sessions, attend those sessions. They are brilliant and awesome at the IMAX and at the planetarium. Scientists come in and explain their observations over the IMAX and at the planetariums. It's really nice. Learn about the adventures and endeavors of human beings even in deep space by visiting the museums and interacting with the scientists. An understanding of the cosmos and its relation to life and science is deeply rooted in humanity's ancient wisdom. And we, as the prime species of this planet, have the responsibility to take that knowledge forward. So let us, all of us, get spacified. Madam Toastmaster.